This is unfortunately leading to a bigger feature, which is I need to have more precise information. I need to have something that passes me in the method name, or the property, or the event, all of the argument names, instead of the way I'm doing it here, which is combining them before I call it. So like here, this is giving it all to it. And of course, if you have a ref or an out, you need to specify, you need to put that in there and say it's an out modifier. So what I really need to pass in yeah, this is kind of shot all over the place. This method information doesn't have the argument name list. That's from the base method, which is a method info. That actually comes through with all the mockable methods. It doesn't come from this information builder, and so it's building the argument name list from that. But I really don't want an argument name list. What I really want is I want an argument name list, but I don't want it stringified. I want it actually as discrete pieces of information, and then I can pass those in. And then in the template method here, I could get a list, of strings of argument names, which would be fine. And then I can say, like here, you want to print it out as a string.join of a comma. But down here, what I want to do is pass it in as something that builds it up as an interpolated string within the code. So, yeah. So I'm already running pretty far in this one, and it's late tonight, and I'm already kind of lying down. And I'm 2 days away from going to MVP Summit, so I might noodle on this, because I think I know what I need to do, which is this one issue that I have here. I don't want to lose it, but I think it's becoming a bigger issue. And so I think what I need to do is create a bigger issue. And let's actually just do that. Let's make a bigger, we'll eventually close this one out, but I'll pull this over here. Okay, so this video will go just a slight bit longer, but then I can make sure I've got the notes in my head right. We're going to create better exception throwing in mocks. This is an expansion of 108. Having a better exception than non-implemented exception. Implemented exception is a good thing, but we need to go farther than that. For example, when a when method handlers are found, but none match, we're printing out the expectation. See, that didn't even make any sense. Like, where the hell does that come from? String of method arguments. Two, three, four. Expectation exception message. Where's that defined? No. Get expectation exception message. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so that's the other case where you're just saying, I don't know what you did. What's the case where I say rock that handle through R3? Now, wait a minute. That is right. It is right. On a very special episode of FreeCodeSession, Jason goes much farther than he should. Okay, so I did realize, okay, so it is actually doing the right thing, which is it's... Am I smarter than I thought it was? Oh, is it putting in? Oh, I am already doing that. I would have done a whole crap ton of work for nothing and realized I already am doing what I want to do. So, okay, so that's actually doing what I want to do. That's telling you I couldn't find an expectation or a handler for that method with that. So the problem is really, again, it's minor. So I think what I'm talking myself out of, which is actually good. Of course, now I'm tempted. It's 10 to 11. Do I actually stay up longer? Try to fix this. This is okay. This, not really. Because it has the override in there. What I'd really like is well, no. Why am I doing that? You're calling it bar 2. What difference does it make if you didn't have any things set up or not? This is exactly what I want. Holy crap, I just spent, 40 frickin' minutes trying to get to a point where, Jason, you dumbass, you're actually doing what you wanted it to do. Right? No handlers are found for bar 2. That's what you wanted. Because if I come back up here, and in this case it's saying we have a handler, but you're calling bar 3. In this case, it should say bar 2 again, because that's what you're passing in. I'm doing exactly what I want. I'm just being stupid. Okay, so actually, discard this. Just go away. That ain't it at all. We're actually on the right path. I am a moron. I am an idiot, and you can quote me saying that and loop it. Because I'm loopy. So what would I do here? Well, what did I do here? Method with argument values. This is what? Get action method with no arguments. This is still, why in the hell would you be passing in argument names? That doesn't make any sense. This is, yeah, this is stinky because I do want, okay, so what I do want is my own name. I just want the name of the method. I don't need like, who am I? What is the name of me? What am I doing here? Why do I exist? So, yeah, it just doesn't care at all. Okay, so this one I could just stick in method name with override, but I'm not entirely thrilled with that. This one I could just do that. I think that's the same as function with reference. No handlers are found for that. I could just do that. And this is actually where I said you could pull that out, put that there, close that up, have that come back, and there you go. So no matter what. And in this case, no arguments. This is the same thing where you don't have a method name. This one you do. So, yeah, this one falls through and does that. And this last one, no arguments. So this is the same as that. Okay, and then property templates. What happens here? That could come down. Do that. No indexers, so you don't. Yeah, you don't actually know the name of the property, which stinks. Yeah, because I just okay, you're starting to lose it, Jason. You're starting to fall off the deep end here. It's late. It's a sign that you should just not be coding right now. This is weird. Why would you have arguments for a property? I don't. That's okay. Because that actually is just saying we can't, it's not even implemented. Don't even try. This one we're just going to copy here. Put that there. Same problem, we don't know what the property name is. And that's a setter for it. Okay. No, these tests are going to fail. So if I go and say EFI, so we have less of them. We got like what, 8 or 9 of them. And some of these are okay. Like this one is okay. This one, we really want to just get the method name. Because we know we don't have any arguments. So for all the things that don't have arguments, we want to get one more thing that's just the method name. With the generic values, without the word override in it. That's really, that's just what I just want the method name with no override, because that will have exactly what we need. So I think I'm going to stop for now. I'm okay with this. The tests are going to fail, but that's okay. So getting back to what I want to type in here. What's that called? Okay. So let's do this. Let's close up shop for tonight. I'm going to come over here. So we're in 108. Okay, so initial exception work removed, some not implemented. Tossers. Is that might be a really bad word in some other countries, so I don't know if I should actually use that. Throwers there. That's better, I guess, with some vaguely defined parameterization around better. So, okay. All right, I'm going to stop because I'm way past my usual time on these videos, but this is good. If I do have time tomorrow, which I'm not sure I will, I've got a busy day tomorrow. I need to take my son to my older son to his self-defense class. And then after that, we're getting, of all things, a gun. He is joined the trap shooting team at his high school. He'll be in 9th grade next year. And they have a trap shooting team. So he wanted to do that. He took a gun safety course last year, and so he's got that. But he needs a gun. So this is quite the quandary for my wife and I. We're not gun owners. I personally have nothing against the concept of owning a gun. You know, it is a right for Americans to have that, and I think if people use them safely, you know, it is a right. I never planned on ever getting one because the need for having, there's lots of reasons. And if I start getting into them, people will veer off dramatically as to how, you know, with argumentation around it. And I really don't want to get into that. You know, I've shot guns before, and I enjoyed it. All just target shooting, especially with my uncle. He had a couple of rifles, and he would go target shooting all the time. That was basically his hobby. My parents had about 5 acres of land, and my house, you know, like you had the road, and then you had the house, and then you basically had, they had 3 or 4 acres in the back that they would rent out to the farmer who had the land behind that, and So that land kind of sloped up. And so my dad and my uncle put out just a bunch of logs, and we put targets out there. And so over that ridge was about another probably 10 or 20 acres of nothing, of just complete field. And even past that, there were no houses past that. So there was no chance you were going to be hitting anything or anyone. We were definitely careful about safety. So he set up targets out there, and I'd shoot them. And it was fun. I enjoy trying to be good at target shooting. So just didn't want to have my own gun, and my wife doesn't want one either. So this is just going to be an interesting thing that we will actually have a gun in the house. But we are, and my son is very, understanding of the safety of it. He was very attentive with his gun safety course, this is also weird to say when people hear this about teenagers. They flip out and go, "Oh my God, your son's obsessed about guns." He's fascinated by them. The machinery, the parts. He has a couple of airsoft pistols, and he's taken them completely apart and tried to figure out like how they work and all the mechanisms behind them. And my father-in-law has like a BB pistol, and downstairs in his basement he had like a small area set up, and when they go down there and shoot them. So, he's just really interested in like World War I, World War II, a lot of the history behind them, how the tanks and the weapons that they used and the different battles and stuff like that. And I was like, that's kind of cool in a way, that he's interested in history in that way. So, I'm excited for him. I'm glad that he's doing this, and the nice thing too is that, unless he wants to start practicing, we won't have any shells in the house, because the trap shooting club, they buy them and then they bring them to the range, and so the kids never have any. So but yeah, so that was a long tangent, not a rant, but a tangent on what I'm doing tomorrow. So self-defense, then we got to go to a sporting club or sporting store and get the gun, and then come home and I got to work out. Got to get my workout in tomorrow. And around 5 o'clock-ish, I'm going to be leaving, because me and Rocky Latka and another friend of mine, Jathan, we are going to be seeing Queensryche and Fates Warning tomorrow night, which I am extremely stoked for this. I'm incredibly stoked for this. I've seen Queensryche now 3 times, all with Todd as the new singer, and they are revitalized. They are so much better. It's kind of weird now a little bit, because Scott Rockenfeld, he's not drumming, though he's not technically left the band. So they have Casey is the drummer that's been filling in. Todd played drums on the latest CD, The Verdict, because he is a drummer as well, and so he played drums, but Casey's playing with them on tour, and it's because it's in this really weird situation that it's, apparently they don't know what's up with Scott. He took a leave of absence because he had a kid. Makes sense, but then they're like, he just kind of disappeared. They don't know what's going on with them. That's the word anyway. So now you've got basically only 2 members left of the original band. And it's something that I've always thought of, which is, well, companies that I joined, the original members are long gone, and but it's still the same company. Bands, for some reason, get a little weirder, that you don't necessarily have that. If people start leaving, that's like how much does the band just become a name? I think I actually heard Gene Simmons say that about Kiss, which is, could they ever just keep Kiss going by saying all of them leave and have 4 new members come in as Kiss, and the band keeps going? And I thought, well, that was stupid. But part of me just went, well, it's probably a money-making scheme for Gene anyway. So, but well, why not? It's still the same band, still the same kind of company. And that's as much as you want to say it's an artist, it's their expression of their music, and I totally believe it is. At the same time, there's a part of it where it goes, if it's a band, it's kind of a company in a sense. That's a way to make money for somebody to make a living. And maybe you just want to retire from it. Why can't new people come in under that band name and keep it moving in that direction. So it's just a thought I had, because Queensryche only has 2 original members now. But they're so good. It's so much fun to see them. And, you know, the downward spiral that was Queensryche for so long, Operation Mindcrime is probably one of the best rock albums ever in history, period. It just is flawless from start to finish. So good. And yeah, after Here and the Now Frontier, that was and then, you know, I don't remember what the last album was. Dedicated to Chaos, I think it was the last one with Jeff. And God, it was so sad to see like videos of them playing live on YouTube. It just felt flat. You know, Todd, it's helped out so much. So that's cool. Really looking forward to seeing them. And I'm also looking very forward to seeing Fates Warning, another favorite band of mine. No Exit, Perfect Symmetry, and Parallels are some of my favorite rock albums of all time. Especially Parallels. That really hit me at a time when I was in college. Very moody, very Perfect Symmetry is kind of abstract in a way, whereas Parallels is more accessible, I think, a little bit. But just the sound, everything is so tasty on Parallels. I just absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So get to see both those bands tomorrow night. I'm really, really excited. So I got to pack, because Sunday morning I got to leave around 9 o'clock to go to the airport to head out for MVP Summit. So I don't know if I'm going to have any time tomorrow to address this. So I really just need these methods to pass in method name without override. Or just find a way to hack that and remove it or something, because then I could pass that in, and then I'd be done with this. And I think I could move on and say, you know, we have a better message now. And I didn't realize we already had a good message as it was. So in any event, I am like now at an hour. Just way too long. I might actually, maybe I'll cut this video and just put in a middle part and say, I didn't realize how long it was, so we're going to break it here, and then I'll like transition and say, okay, you know, this is from the previous episode, whatever, and come into this one. I'm babbling. It's late. I got my glasses on. Can't see. It's 10 after 11, so I'm going to stop. So, thank you all for watching. Leave your comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.